But shit, we got video game shit too. We ain't forget about the gamers out there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
All right.
So
So before we get to, we're gonna talk about Eminem's. The Eminem's card, the full card is actually out. So we're gonna be talking that in a bit. Before we get to that, we're gonna talk some more video games, man. Um, we talk about the fighting games, but another thing that's popular in the gaming world is first person shooter. You know,
yeah, shout out to Drake, J. Cole. But we ain't talking about that first person shooter, man. We
yeah,
talking about the actual genre of game that is just so huge around the world. There are many esports tournaments that go on with these first person shooters. It's actually went from being just a dope video game genre to actual lifestyle where people can make money off of this. There are huge worldwide tournaments. And so we are going to drop our favorite top 5 first person shooters of all time. You know what I'm saying? For all the gamers out there, man. So where do you want to start, man? You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll go first because you've been going first lately.
Okay, it's on you.
Number five for me, man. I'm going old school arcade style. I just learned this game from an arcade, and it was just a first person shooter for me. I'm going with Area 51, man.
Oh man, that's crazy because that's my number 5. That game is so fire. Damn, how you gonna pick my damn, I didn't even think you
me,
knew about
me,
that.
me, me and Danny, we didn't we talked about it, but we didn't say okay. I like this game. So it was like I didn't think Danny would remember that game, but first, Area 51, man, in the arcades they had the guns. Physically, you're shooting it. That was sick though, man. That was one of my favorites, man. I got that at number five. And obviously
Yeah.
you got it at number five also. But I'm gonna go move on to my number four. I'm gonna go with Halo 2. Halo 2,
Mm.
man. When you think of first person shooter, it's just Halo was one of those games that you gotta have on there, man. And that's one of the more I think it possibly could be one of the most popular Xbox games when it comes to first person shooters. So I gotta go with Halo at number four.
Okay, for me, I'm gonna go Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. This was the first time in the franchise history where they pretty much updated to modern. That's why I literally call modern warfare because you had all the World War II, couple wars before that, and that basically that's what Call of Duty was based on. But then they finally updated it to modern warfare, and now you got the night vision goggles, you got the airdrops, you got the air raids. It was so many more unique things that they was able to bring to the game due to the technology, and that's why Call of Duty Modern Warfare stands out, and that's going to be my number 4.
Um, Number three for me, man. You gotta go with Doom, man. You can't mention a first person shooter game without Doom. I think when it came to Doom, it came out 1996, and then they made a huge upgrade. I think like 20 years later, man, with the graphics, which was crazy, man, and I think it had a huge impact in the gaming industry when it comes to first person shooter. It kind of changed everything, and it made everybody step their game up. So I definitely got that at number three.
Number 3 for me is going to be Black. Now, this game was for the original Xbox, came out 2006, and the game was basically really known for its cinema style gameplay, the sound effects, and the destructive environments. Black was really ahead of its time, and it's a shame that they didn't like update it for today modern consoles. But that game is so fire as a first person shooter. And anybody out there, if y'all in the comments, if y'all know what Black is, let me know.
Mm. All right, my number 2, man, it is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. That game was like it just had a huge impact in the gaming world, man. I think Call of Duty it did kind of die down a little bit from where we're at today, but back then, man, Call of Duty, they had the Modern Warfare, the Black Ops, but Modern Warfare was one of the ones that everybody loved, everybody jumped on because you know how everybody was always into Fortnite. Modern Warfare 4 was one of those games that everybody was jumping on every single day to see if their friends were playing online. It was just an exciting game to play, man, and it's just when you mention first person shooter, man, Call of Duty, man, it has to be in your top 5. You can't mention a Call of Duty game when it comes to first person shooter and it's not in your top 5. I think that's crazy and ridiculous to not have you in your top 5. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is the definition of first person shooter.
Without a doubt, man. At my number 2, I'm gonna go with one of your picks, and that's gonna be Halo 2. Man, listen, man, Halo 2 really changed the landscape of modern first person shooters. This was the first time you could dual wield weapons. They upgraded the weapons, the maps where you had lockout. You had some of the best maps ever in the Halo franchise came from Halo 2. Just and those maps were so dope, they even gave them an update from, what I'm saying? So Halo 2 is going to be my number 2 first person shooter of all time, man. And there's so many dope memories, and they need to bring that back. Shit, let's bring that game back.
First person shooter number 1 for me, it is Counter-Strike 1.6. That was the one, man.
You can't go wrong with Counter-Strike, man.
And it was actually a PC game where you could actually play it in the computer. This thing was so big where people go to like these cafe lounges and play in there, and it would be so packed every day after school during my time when I was playing it. You had your counters terrorists, and you had your terrorists. You were able to play teams. You had multiplayer versions of it also. With very strategic teamwork. All you had all those weapons, time bombs, different type of maps, like scoping. It had all of that, man. That was just one of the games that I started getting into first person shooter, man. Like when I think of like Call of Duty, I think of Counter Strike. Like you cannot mention Counter Strike without you can't mention Counter Strike without Call of Duty. Like there would be no Call of Duty if it wasn't for Counter Strike, because I think Call of Duty that a little bit of their style from Counter Strike did, man. And for it to be a PC game, a computer game, to play on the computer, that was crazy, man. That was just very impactful and trendsetting when you're comparing all these games, right, which was on the Xbox, the PlayStation, and with somebody doing it on PC. That's a huge difference, man, and that's definitely number 1.
Okay, for me, number 1 gotta go to the most legendary first person shooter of all time. We cannot underestimate the value and the importance and the revolutionary ways of GoldenEye 007
Mm.
Nintendo 64. It's the first time you and three other friends could play on the same console simultaneously. I know, man, this is where the screen watching came from, man. Screen watching, I think that came from, we was playing teams, we was playing one hit kill, we was playing the golden gun rules. You had the classic James Bond villains, you had Jaws, you had Odd Job, who obviously was like the cheat character because Odd Job was shorter, so you manually had to aim your gun a little bit lower to get him. The maps that really revolutionized multiplayer, just the genre, just not just first person shooting, but just multi-playing game. I think any game that came after that, you kind of had to have a multiplayer mode, and that's that. I think that game really showcased how important it is to have a game where you and multiple friends could play at the same time on one game, one console. You didn't necessarily, there wasn't no internet back then. So yeah, man, GoldenEye is the number one first person shooter of all time, even though Counter-Strike ain't a bad pick because Counter-Strike is like Counter-Strike is a worldwide phenomenon.
Man, you don't even have Counter-Strike in your top 5.
Nah, man, because my top 5, man, we got a few of them the same. We got Halo 2, you know what I'm saying? We got Call of Duty, but like I said, people sleeping on Black. I think they sleeping on Black, and we got Area 51 in there, you know what I'm saying? But again, Halo 2 and GoldenEye are like the two top games for me. So we got some of the same, we got a lot of the same picks. I think we only had like 2 different picks, but so we obviously kind of got the same taste in these first-person shooting games.
I was thinking about GoldenEye. GoldenEye was one of the first ones though. Like, yeah, GoldenEye was one of the first ones though. So, it wasn't just that game for me though. Like,
I don't, man. You didn't have, somebody robbed you of a childhood. I don't know who robbed you of your childhood if you didn't have GoldenEye in a Nintendo 64 in your house with 4 controllers. If you didn't have that growing up, man, I don't know. Those are the kids that grow up to be serial killers when they didn't have GoldenEye.
wow. Well, I'm not a serial killer.
Not yet.
Yeah, so those are our top 5, man. Let us know what you think.